Hello and welcome back, grade 2 students. I hope you guys are enjoying my videos. Today we're going to continue with Unit 4, Earth's Surface, Lesson 1, Where is Water Found on Earth, Part 2b. Today we're going to cover the following points. Lesson 1, Where is Water Found on Earth? Exercise on page 191. And revision on Rivers and Oceans section, page 190. Exercise time. Let's wear our thinking caps on. We open to page 191. Label each picture using the terms in the box. We have lake, ocean, pond, and river. Now, in order to know what each picture is showing us, we need to observe carefully to check the characteristics of each body of water. The first picture we see like a really big body of water. It's almost like the biggest among all 4 bodies of water. What do you think? Which one is it? Is it a lake? Is it an ocean? Is it a pond or a river? Remember guys, you should have solved this page on your own and now you're just checking whether you answered correctly, okay? So what do you think it is? Excellent! It is ocean. Why? Because it is the largest body of water among all 4. Clear? In the second picture, we see a body of water surrounded by land on 2 sides, and it seems to start from a high point and flowing downward. What do you think it is? Let's think a minute. Surrounded by land on 2 sides and starting from a high point and flowing downwards. Of course, it is the river. Excellent. Now, let's move to the third picture. What do you guys think? What do you observe? What are you seeing? Well, we see a body of water surrounded by land on all sides, and it seems that it's not flowing to anywhere else. So this means it is, which means it is a lake. Correct. What about the last picture? It is the smallest body of water among all 4, and it's surrounded by land on all sides, and it's not flowing into any other body of water. It's staying in its place. It is a still body of water, okay? It is a still body of water surrounded by land on all sides. What do you think it is? Pond. Excellent. Now, let's review together rivers and oceans section. Check. What about the rivers and the ocean? We said that the rivers have 4 main characteristics. Let's read the paragraph one more time and we'll go over them. Most rivers contain fresh water. Rivers may be wide or narrow. They all have land on 2 sides. Rivers begin on high ground. They flow downward into other rivers, lakes, and oceans. These features are patterns because they show what rivers have in common. Remember guys, when we say features, it means characteristics. It means what does the river look like, okay? And when we say pattern, it is something that is repeated. So whenever I say river, we have 4 points coming to our minds. 1, most rivers contain fresh water. Again, most rivers contain fresh water. What about the shape of the river? Rivers may be wide or narrow. Rivers may be wide or narrow. Rivers may be wide or narrow. What else? Rivers are surrounded by land. On both sides, rivers are surrounded by land. On both sides, as you can see in the picture. What else? What else? Where do the rivers start? Where do the rivers start? Rivers begin on a high ground, okay, remember, on a high ground and flows downward into other rivers, lakes, and oceans. So, rivers begin on a high point and then they flow downward into other oceans, rivers, or lakes. Clear? So, these are the patterns about the river. Let's go again over them one more time. Are you ready? We have 4 main patterns. I hope you guys are ready. Rivers, what about them? 1, most rivers contain fresh water. Again, most rivers contain fresh water. That's number 1. Number 2, Rivers may be wide or narrow. Rivers may be wide or narrow. That's about the shape of the river, okay? Remember, guys, stand close to your mom and leave a bit of distance between both of you. You'll have a narrow river. Stand away from your mom and you'll have a big space between both of you and you'll make a what? Wide river. Observe carefully. This is a wide river. This is a narrow river, okay? Wide, narrow. Clear? Now, what else? Number 3. All rivers are surrounded by land. On both sides, all rivers are surrounded by land. On both sides, all rivers are surrounded by land. On both sides, all rivers are surrounded by land. On both sides, okay? Observe, all rivers are surrounded by land. On both sides, all rivers are surrounded by land. On both sides, all rivers are surrounded by land. On both sides. Clear so far? What else? Where does the rivers start or where do they begin? Rivers begin on a high ground and flow downward into other rivers, lakes, and oceans. So what happens to the rivers? Rivers start on a high point and flow downward into other rivers, lakes, and oceans. Again, what are the characteristics of rivers? One more time. What about the rivers? Most rivers contain fresh water. That's one. Most rivers contain fresh water. Number 2, rivers may be wide or narrow. Rivers may be wide or narrow. Number 3, all rivers are surrounded by land on both sides. All rivers are surrounded by land on both sides. Clear? See land on both sides? This is a wide river. This is a narrow river. All rivers are surrounded by land on both sides. All rivers are surrounded by land on both sides. Okay? What else? How do the rivers start? Rivers begin on a high point and flow downward into other rivers, lakes, and oceans. High ground or high point, it's okay. Okay, guys? The same meaning. So far, so good? Clear, dear? Yalla, let's continue. What about the oceans? Take a minute to observe the picture carefully. So let's read together. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. Oceans' water is salty. Oceans cover most of Earth's surface and hold almost all its water. These features, remember features means characteristics, are patterns because they show what oceans have in common. Remember, a pattern is something that is repeated. Guys, remember, whenever you see something underlined in my video, you guys have to underline it in your book. Clear? So you underline oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. Oceans' water is salty, okay, or salty. Oceans cover most of Earth's surface and hold almost all its water. Let's go again. Oceans are the largest bodies of water. Again, oceans are the largest body of water on Earth. Oceans are the largest body of water on Earth. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. Largest among what? Among all four. Between the lakes, ponds, rivers, and oceans. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. And ocean's water is what? Salty. The ocean's water is salty. 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 Clear? Oceans, what else? Cover most of Earth's surface and hold almost all its water. Again, oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. Clear so far? What about the type of water in the ocean? Ocean's water is salty. Ocean's water is salty. What about the ocean's water? We said that the oceans cover most of Earth's surface and holds almost all of its water. Okay? Clear so far? Yeah, let's continue. So what about the oceans? Let's repeat the characteristics of oceans. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on earth. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on earth. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on earth. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on earth. Again, oceans are largest bodies of water on earth. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on earth. Oceans' water is salty, or oceans have salty water. Oceans have salty water. All oceans have salty water. All oceans have salty water. Again, all oceans have salty water. Excellent. What about the ocean's water? What does it cover? Or about the oceans? What do they cover? Oceans cover most of Earth's surface. Again, oceans cover most of Earth's surface. Now, ocean's water also holds almost all of Earth's water. Ocean's water, what holds almost all of Earth's water? Let's go one more time. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. That's one. Oceans are the largest bodies of water on Earth. That's one. Ocean's water is salty, or all oceans have salty water. All oceans have salty water. Oceans cover most of Earth's surface. Again, oceans cover most of Earth's surface. Okay, remember Earth's surface, it means all of the Earth. So, ocean's water holds almost all of Earth's water. Ocean's water holds almost all of Earth's surface. No. Ocean's water holds almost all of Earth's water. Again, ocean's water holds almost all of Earth's water. Clear? The water covers 70% of the Earth. Clear so far, guys? And the 30% is land. Clear? So far, so good? Thank you. That's all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, we should underline everything that I underlined in the video. Thank you.